Well, hello and welcome to another video by Financial Learning. On today's video, we're going to look at the full February mining numbers for CleanSpark Inc. We're also going to talk about some of their month-over-month metrics and where I believe they're going in terms of additional profitability. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, starting first with the wallet information, you can see here that we're taking the second day in February and going all the way to the first day in March. And that's how CleanSpark Inc. calculates their Bitcoin mining numbers. And that's because when you look at that early AM Bitcoin mining amount, it's really for the previous day. So with all that being said, take a look at that average. They averaged the month of February at 22.27 Bitcoin per day. And the maximum amount of Bitcoin in a single day was 23.49. Taking a look at the overall sum of February, they mined a total of 623.67 Bitcoin, and the total amount of revenue generated from that Bitcoin was $59,274,418. And just to recall, I did look up some of their other financials, and I believe when you look at the revenue generated, they are calculating based on that daily price of Bitcoin. They're not looking at the price of Bitcoin at the end of the month. So I did adjust my numbers for that to show this. And then looking at what they had from January in terms of their HODL was sitting at 10,556 Bitcoin. So looking at the last day, I'm looking at the current price of Bitcoin actually, and it's sitting at $85,688. So I'm multiplying that by the January HODL amount and then taking that January HODL amount, adding it to the February revenue amount, you're going to get a new estimated HODL at 11,179.68 Bitcoin for a total value of $963,800,324. And then taking a look on the right-hand side, again, I have with and without depreciation, and I thought it would be interesting to also look at that Bitcoin break-even price. And according to these numbers, at $84,681 per Bitcoin would be the break-even price for CleanSpark if you include the depreciation numbers. And again, these numbers are coming from the latest 10Q. So jumping down at the very bottom, you can see month to date. This would be for the month of February. Their profit comes in at $6,472,000. Jumping over without depreciation, again, this is if they have that cash on hand at the end of the month. Remember, these miners have a life of 3 years, so they are not having to spend some of that additional revenue that they would have from that exact month. They're just earmarking it for a later use, so they can be strategic with what they do with that money. So if you look at that side, without depreciation, the break-even Bitcoin price is $52,634. And looking at the month to date, so this would be the end of February, profit margin is $26,459,812. So you may be asking yourself, looking at the table below, you can see just the direct energy costs coming in at $34,011 per Bitcoin, and then with the depreciation added in at $66,058. So the numbers at the top here with depreciation at $84.6 thousand and without depreciation at $52.6 thousand, that's going to include the G&A items as well as payroll and some professional fees. Now, those are items that CleanSpark Inc. does have some flexibility. They can make some adjustments to their operations in order to reduce some of those or at least keep that stagnant as they continue to increase their mining fleet. So that is one option they can do to help improve profitability. Another one is going to be, as I mentioned before, negotiating with that utility provider. Can they get a better energy rate? So the cost per kilowatt hour. Are they able to get any reductions on that? Can they amend or change some contract verbiage a little bit to get some better opportunities there in terms of cost per kilowatt? And then really the other option is going to be improving their fleet efficiency. We've seen them do this month over month. I am very excited and interested to see what kind of efficiency they have for the month of February and we should be getting that in a press release sometime this week. And I want to take a look at CleanSpark's month-to-month metrics. So we're going to take a look at that on the next slide. All right, and jumping into some of these month-over-month metrics, starting with the middle graph there, the CleanSpark efficiency, you can see as of last January, a little over a year ago, they had a fleet efficiency at 26.4 joules per terahash. You can see as of this past January, it's already been reduced down to 16.15 joules per terahash. So they are making a lot of really good strides to continue to improve that fleet efficiency, which is going to help them on their bottom dollar in terms of cost to mine Bitcoin. So we should see some improved rates at the next quarter. And looking at the top right, this is going to be CleanSpark's hash rate. This is going to be their computing power in order to be able to mine that Bitcoin. You can see they were around 10 exahash per second about a year or so ago. And then looking this past January, they're all the way up to 40.1 exahash per second. So they've quadrupled their hash rate basically over the course of about 13 months, and I'm excited to see what kind of hash rate they have for the end of February. And taking a look at the bottom left, that's just their fleet. You can see how they've grown their fleet drastically from about 90,000 units almost up to 220,000 units. Moving to the middle bottom there, you can see their month-over-month mining numbers as well as their HODL balance. You can see, of course, the February is going to be an estimate, as we do not know exactly how much of that HODL was sold when they mined some of those February Bitcoin amounts. But you can see they've been making good strides to get the overall totals. Now, one thing I did add is going to be this bottom right graph, and that's because not every month is equal in terms of days. Of course, this month was the shortest. So looking at the average daily Bitcoin number, I think that's an important metric to look at as well. You can see they've been growing that average daily Bitcoin. You can see in April, after the halving, there was a drop, but CleanSpark's almost made it back to that average daily Bitcoin mined before halving. So again, they've been making great strides to continue to grow their hash rate, continue to reduce the fleet efficiency, and they are so close to getting back to that pre-halving daily Bitcoin mining number. So I'm excited to see what other type of operational updates CleanSpark has for us when they put out this press release. All right, and that about wraps up for me, folks. Hope you enjoyed this quick update on CleanSpark. We took a look at their wallet address to get an idea about how many Bitcoins they had mined for the month of February. And then we talked about some of their month-over-month metrics. Those are the metrics that they do disclose in their monthly press releases. So the February amount is still to be discovered. I am excited to see what comes out from that. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Drop your comment. What do you think about CleanSpark Inc? Do you think they're on the right path in terms of efficiency, in terms of cost to mine Bitcoin, in terms of profitability? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And with all that said, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you on the next one.